Let's go across to Germany, where their stranded citizens were airlifted, including those in Ghana, back to their home country. Thomas Sparrow is political correspondent with our partners DW. He joins us live now from home. Thomas, good to see you. Let's start with the very latest update from Germany. Parts of your country are still in partial lockdown. How is that affecting your citizens?
Germany is today in an important situation. There are around 47,000 cases here in the country. In fact, it was 2 months ago today that Germany reported its very first case in the southern part of the country in Bavaria. So you can see what the progress has been in these last 2 months. And if you look at these 2 months, there has also been a big political reaction by leaders in this country. It goes from those orders or those decisions that the German government made to try and restrict public life in this country, although the German government didn't go as far as imposing a general lockdown in this country. And it also goes hand in hand with other measures that the government and the parliament have taken to try and make sure that the impact of the coronavirus is not felt as badly as many predict, especially when it comes to businesses that could be particularly affected. So this is the situation now in Germany. If you look a bit more broadly in Europe, the main spotlight today is probably in the United Kingdom, where the Prime Minister Boris Johnson has tested positive for coronavirus, as well as the health secretary. So you can see that it's not only in Germany where important things have been happening, it's also in other parts of the continent as well.
Right, so what's the latest with Angela Merkel?
So the main political reaction coming from the German government has been in a sort of series of steps, if you will, because first Angela Merkel gave a very important speech, televised speech actually, which is something very unusual for her, where she asked people to participate, to make sure that they understood that this is also about them. So it's not only about the government making decisions, it's also about the people making sure that they, if possible, can stay at home, that they can restrict their public appearances, that they can make sure they're aware of what the risks are and what their responsibilities are as well. And then that came hand in hand with that decision that I just mentioned to restrict movement, for example, when it comes to more than 2 people. So those are prohibited here in Germany, meetings of more than 2 people, although again there is no formal lockdown, which means that people essentially can still go out to work or shopping or go to the pharmacy. But indeed, the German government and German authorities have been asking people to try and be very careful and understand that this is also about them. And this goes hand in hand, by the way, with proposals that German people have been doing. It's not only about staying at home, it's also about being creative. And one element, for example, that we saw was a very big hackathon, so a digital competition to try and find solutions. And there were big discussions there. Around 40,000 people took part to decide and to develop proposals, for example, to better manage hospital resources or to help people's mental health in times of isolation. So you can see that it's not only about waiting at home and not doing much, it's about understanding what the responsibilities are, both at the government level, but also at the citizens level.
Now, what is the situation in Germany regarding medical supplies, personal protective equipment, ventilators, respirators, even testing kits? Is Germany experiencing any shortages?
Germany has, and if you ask officials, that's what they've been saying all along, that Germany has a very good public health system, and that's one of the reasons why, for example, Germany has fewer cases than other countries in Europe. But it is obviously the case that when you have such a high number of cases, we're talking about 47,000, that puts a strain on the public health system irrespective of where you are. And that's why German authorities have been very much aware of what's at stake and trying to see what changes can be made and how authorities can actually help doctors and nurses to be able to do their work as good as they can. This is a very difficult situation. It's an exceptional situation, not only in the public health sector, but I would say for the population as a whole. And that's why, as I said, many people here in Germany have been trying to show solidarity and creativity. And one of the areas in which they've been able to do that is precisely by supporting the work done by people working in the public health sector.
Right, Thomas, I want to thank you very much for that update, that all-important update on the German situation. Thomas Sparrow is a correspondent with our partners, DW, in Germany.